Welcome back to the King's Court, the podcast on all things Bethesda. I have my great friend and legend, Joey Caps, back in the house. How are you doing, Brother Joe?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Well, I am so glad, and I'm gonna make you even happier because we've got a lot of great things to talk about. In fact, I don't think we're gonna get to everything, but the first couple of things that I want to talk about for sure is, did you know that Bethesda, and I'm talking about Bethesda as a whole, has at least 6 new IPs coming possibly by the end of this year?
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
I was gonna be a wise guy, but I was like, wait, whoa.
Yeah, we'll talk about...
I mean, I know of 3 of them.
Well, you'll start going, okay, but
I guess I know 4.
There's a couple that most people don't know of at all.
Maybe 5.
And then we're also going to talk about, since the deal with Microsoft, what's going on inside Bethesda Game Studios, what Todd Howard is doing, how many projects he's working on. He is at least working on 5 projects at the moment.
Yeah,
so
real.
and there may be more. So we're going to talk about that. And of course Pete Hines actually talked about some people's concerns about that not too long ago on Twitter. So let's jump right into the 6 new IPs that are already scheduled that we know of on Bethesda's radar. Well, there are 2 that are not hooked up with Xbox, and of course that is Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. But those are brand new IPs.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
Okay. I want Deathloop so bad.
I know.
Go on.
Then you've got, of course, Starfield that we think is coming this year, and that is a brand new IP from Bethesda Game Studios. Then you've got the new Indiana Jones game that was announced that is coming from Machine Games. But now there are 2 more games that have already been scheduled. They've already been kind of announced. There is a new game coming from ZeniMax Online Studio that is supposed to be an open world game. It's supposed to be using a new engine from the one that they used on The Elder Scrolls Online. And it's supposed to, like I said, be a big open world with great new graphics. That's all we know about it, but it's supposed to be a new IP. So I want to talk about that for a minute. But then there's also another game coming from Arcane Studio. Now, this is going to be the USA Arcane Studio because the other Arcane is working on Deathloop. But the Arcane Austin Studio is working on an unnamed title, but it is a new IP. That's at least 6. That's what we know of right now, Joe. 6 brand new IPs coming from Bethesda Studios.
That's incredible. What was Dishonored, right? There was something else I was going to say. I was going to say something to you, like a wisecrack, but I forget. I forget what I was going to say.
I talked too long.
Yeah, exciting if that's true, if that's what happens. I mean, 4 out of the 6 I won't be able to play unless I play it on my computer, which I probably could. I probably could play Deathloop on my computer, Ghostwire Tokyo on my my But
you might even be able to get them on Switch, knowing how Bethesda loves Switch.
Yeah, maybe, but but I have to wait though.
Yeah,
because it's exclusive to the PS5.
Yeah,
for now, that's the issue. But imagine Starfield comes out this year.
Well, let me tell you why.
But
go ahead.
I'm excited about the ZeniMax Online
game. I am too, and I want to talk about that specifically. But first, I want to tell you why I think there's a really good chance that all of these could come out this year. That's number 1, we know that Deathloop is coming out this year, so we can get that one off the list.
Yeah.
Ghostwire would be the one that I don't know about because they've kind of been pushing it back. But I would love to see like a Christmas 2021 release date. That would be great. Go ahead.
I actually heard I heard October.
Yeah.
Tango Gameworks, they're used to October releases. Evil Within. October. So both of them. So I'm thinking, if anything, it'll be October, just because of how the studio
normally does it.
Yeah,
that is an absolute great point, and I'm hoping for a fall 2021, and I would expect it unless they have to push it back again. Then also I would expect a November release date for Starfield. Let's all cross our fingers and cross our toes and get ready for that. I would also believe that Indiana Jones is coming soon because of what we talked about last week on our podcast. Todd Howard does not release games or announce games that are 2 years in advance normally. Of course, we know Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 was a special situation. But since they've already announced Indiana Jones, and I believe Todd's going to be working hard on Starfield and the Elder Scrolls, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But since they've already announced it, I believe they're going to show it at E3, and sometime this year it will be released.
The reason why I disagree as far as when the game is going to come out, just because I feel like that's too many in one year,
yeah,
for one company. So like I could totally see. All right, we know Deathloop, that's on its way. That's coming in May, right? So then Ghostwire Tokyo, October. But where's some love for the Series X? Starfield comes out. There you go, right? And then I don't think they're going to want their games to go head to head with Starfield. I don't think that's what they would enjoy doing at that point, because that game's going to be wild. Starfield,
absolutely,
with the amount of money it's going to make, it's going to go crazy. So then I feel like Indiana Jones, that could be more of a spring release, so 2022, and then I'm outlining everything here, and then ZeniMax Online, that could be in the summer, because if we remember,
2022, you mean, right?
Yeah, in the summer, of that year. So next year, wow. Because I believe Elder Scrolls Online first released in the summer, I think, right? 2014 on PC, before consoles. I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty.
It was either late summer or early fall. I think it was. I think you're right.
I gotta look this up, but yeah, so that would make the most sense, and then we'll see.
So at the very least, then we're probably talking about a year and a half for all 6 of these. So, either way, that's a lot of games coming quick. Well, let's talk about those 2 unknown, the ZeniMax Online game and the Arcane game. Let's start with the Arcane. Arcane Studio, what a great studio. The studio that's given us Dishonored, it's given us Prey, and has now given us Deathloop. This is the Austin studio, because like I said, the France studio is working on Deathloop, finishing that up. This is just said to be a new IP, so it's not going to be another Dishonored. What do you think might be, and of course this is just throwing out a guess here, what in the world could we see coming from Arcane Studio Austin?
What, a brand new IP is what we're seeing? I have no idea. What else can we see? Like, we already have a steampunk game of Dishonored. We've already seen a sci-fi game in Prey, right? What, are we gonna see a post-apocalyptic game with Arcane? I don't know. I have no idea. But King, really quick, Elder Scrolls Online released April 5th, 2014 on Windows.
Spring, okay. Mm-hmm.
And then June 9th, 2015 on Xbox.
There you go. There's your summertime.
And PS4. So yeah. I mean, but with Arcane, I don't know.
They love making their own worlds. But with that said, I would love to see, and this is just me, I would love to see them do a Civil War type game. That would just be
okay. Yeah.
You would get a little bit of the Western, a little bit of the battle with war. I think it would just be and you could even do survival type stuff with it as well.
Yeah. Also, what I think it could be, right? Commander King.
Yeah. Well, that
I was gonna try and be as serious as a cucumber, but I couldn't do it.
but that actually goes into what I was going to say. I hope it's not
Yeah.
this, but as big as the superhero craze is right now,
Mm-hmm.
I can see them trying to do something in that superheroes genre, whether it's to buy a license or make their own superhero. I can see something like that as well.
What if the ZeniMax Online game? What if that could be? Now this is gonna sound really stupid. If it does, I apologize. Maybe it's not as grand as we think, and maybe it could be a mobile game, a mobile online game. Starfield,
Well, I do think we're going to get Starfield
a mobile
mobile
game.
game.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's
Yeah.
going to be coming from the Canadian studio, because they're the one that brought us Fallout Shelter. But
Yes, yeah.
with what you just said,
Montreal.
what if they make a multiplayer Starfield alongside the single player Starfield made by BGS?
That's too much.
Well,
Release that in like 3 years. Don't
Red,
release it same year.
yeah, Red Dead Redemption did something like that. They had their game and
Yeah,
then later on release the online part.
they did that they did that like separately. It was like they can't, if they do it like that, sure, like GTA Online, and you have, like if they do it like that, fine, I'm on board, of course, but it can't be a completely different game. It can't be like a 70. It can't be what 76 is to Fallout 4.
Well, and the reason
It
I
can't be
I
that.
agree, but the reason I said that, they specifically have already announced that this game is going to have a new engine from the one that is used in ESO. So are they
Okay,
are they going to be using the same engine that BGS is using for Starfield?
it could be.
I mean,
Why would they
where else
just-
are they getting a new engine? You wouldn't
Yeah.
have two studios within the same umbrella building new engines in the same time.
So then Starfield ZeniMax Online might not be working on a separate game. It could be
the multiplayer
just a multiplayer aspect for Starfield, but it's different
be.
from the single player.
Could be.
Could be. I mean, we're just speculating and we're making stuff up right now.
Well, if it's not Starfield,
Yeah.
we kind of run into the roadblock we did with Arcane. Then,
Yeah.
if it's a new IP, what are they going to do? What kind of genre is left that you would love to see a Bethesda studio do? Like I said, I want a Civil War game in my lifetime. But
what if this isn't something that I want to see, but what if we see a battle royale game? Like just a battle royale game? I don't know. I mean,
I could.
I'm just throwing out possibilities.
No,
here.
I could. If they are going to do that, I think ZeniMax would be the ones to do that. I think that would be the best way to do that. Let's lead right into, and we've talked about this a little bit. The question has come up: is Todd Howard spreading himself too thin? Because we know he's an executive producer on the new Fallout TV show, which hopefully we'll learn more about this coming E3. We know that he is the executive producer and lead developer on Starfield, as well as the Elder Scrolls. He's also executive producer now, it's been announced, on the new Indiana Jones game that is being made by Machine Games. Plus, Pete Hines says he's also executive producer on other Bethesda Softworks games. So, unnamed. So, again, that's at least 5 projects we know that he's doing right now. Is he spreading himself too thin?
No. This is why. He probably always does this. Maybe 5 projects is his career high, if you will. But there was Fallout. He was probably working on Fallout 3. Maybe even Fallout 4, right? Because these games, they intertwine. Yeah. Skyrim. Right? I mean, it's just, he's probably used to this, used to working on so many projects at one time. And with him just being the executive producer of a Machine Games, right? Title. It's not a Bethesda, a BGS game. It's Machine, right? So that might be a little different. I just feel like he always works on multiple things rather than focusing on one or two. I just feel like he's a very busy man.
Absolutely. Well,
A very busy
we
man,
did get some great news when Pete Hines responded to this question, and he said BGS's priority is Starfield and the Elder Scrolls.
Of course, it has to be.
Which made all of us stand up and cheer, yay. So above Indiana Jones, above the Fallout TV show, the priority for Todd Howard and BGS is right now Starfield, and then next the Elder Scrolls. In my opinion, Starfield's done. They're already working on the Elder Scrolls, but what do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I think Starfield's been done for a while. I feel like we talk about this a lot.
Yes, we do.
And I think that
and we will until it comes out.
yeah, of course. I think that with Starfield, that was set to come out a while ago, but then they're like, why don't we pump it out for next gen and do what CD Projekt Red didn't do, was just focus on next gen. And that's what I feel like they did for Starfield, and they're doing for Starfield. So we probably will get this game this year. So yeah, I agree 100%. I think that's what I think, really.
So with that said, then Starfield's already off Todd's plate. He's
gone.
He's probably
DLC now.
He's overseeing the Elder Scrolls 6 and what's going on there. He's being the executive producer with the TV show and Indiana Jones, which is more like a consultant and has the final say, basically. It's more than a consultant. So he's probably working on those 4 projects right now. What do you think is his main focus right now? Do you think they're already fully focused on the Elder Scrolls? And the reason I say this, if you remember back to the anniversary of, I think it was the 25th anniversary of the Elder Scrolls, they put out a lot of interviews and all this, and remember they did that special character creation for Miss Shirley. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was several years ago now. I don't remember. Was that 2018? I'm messing up.
I think
it could have been 19.
But 2019.
But anyway, they already were making characters, and that's not all. They went ahead and told us how they were making do you remember? The landscape.
The world. Yeah. Photo something realistic or something like that, right?
So they were already, we know the world may already be made. I mean, they were already talking about how to make the world and the characters back then. So I believe they've been working on the Elder Scrolls 6 for quite a while. People get nervous. We're never going to see it. They're already working on it big time.
They have, yeah, I think so too. But I feel until Starfield comes out, that's their number one priority.
Absolutely.
No matter, they're gonna try and iron this game out as best as they possibly can. That's just what's gonna happen up until the game gets released, and then that's when Todd Howard says, "Bon voyage," right? Maybe, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying, but that's what.
To finish this podcast out, we were talking about games coming out and too many games at once. What Bethesda has liked to do, and what I think they want to do, is to put out a major title and what we call a minor title every year. So 2 titles, like whether it's Doom being a major title and then an Arcane or Machine Games or something like that. Well, if they put out Starfield this year, and we know they're putting out Deathloop. That's their 2 that we know are coming out, and probably Ghostwire.
The thing is with Deathloop, that's in the spring,
right?
So that's done in May. That's out. It's done. It's finished. They don't have to market for it if it's already out,
right?
So then you have Ghostwire Tokyo in October. Evil Within, that came out in 2015, right?
I don't remember the exact.
I'm looking that up right now.
I think it was. I think they showed it the same year as Fallout 4. I'm not sure on that, but I think so.
I think Evil Within came out in 2015. 2014, so a year before Fallout 4. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Sorry.
So with all that said, we could see, we could easily start seeing, them release now with all their studios and Xbox. Instead of 2 games a year, we could see them start releasing 3 to 4 games a year, and we're talking about all of Bethesda studios.
That might happen this year. So
that might happen this year. 6 new IPs that are coming from Bethesda Studios. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I cannot wait to see what those new games are. Well, Joe, thank you for being on the King's Court, or as we call it, the Bethesda Brothers Podcast. You are my brother, and I love you very much.
Thank you so much. I love you too, King. Thank you for having me. Your subscribers are fantastic. I love them. Subscribe to me if you're not.
Yes.
You better subscribe to me. Subscribe.
The link to Joey's channel will be down in the description, so y'all please subscribe and watch all of his videos twice and hit the like button.
55 times.
We thank y'all for stopping by. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye.